Unless you are planning on wearing your winter boots, your rain boots all season long, eventually you're gonna have to bust out your nice leather shoes and boots. And inevitably they will get wet. That's the nature of the beast, man, the winter beast. So in today's video, we're gonna cover 5 different ways to help you avoid the wet and overall just protect your leather and suede shoes this winter. Let's get into it. What's up, fellas? Welcome back to Effortless Gent. If you are new here, welcome. I am Baron. On this channel, we typically discuss how to dress sharp, how to dress with confidence, and of course, general men's style tips, kind of like what we're talking about today. So if you are into that kind of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also check out some of our older videos as well. Whenever winter comes along, I always think twice about wearing my really nice leather or suede shoes or boots. I just don't want to get them all messed up. But then at the same time, I can't always just be casual and wear my snow boots or my rain boots that are made of rubber all season long. Sometimes I gotta dress up, sometimes I gotta look good. You know what I'm saying? If I'm worrying about this, then there's a good chance that you are worrying about this too. So in this video, like I said, I wanna go through a few ways that you can avoid the wet and basically protect and waterproof your leather shoes and your suede shoes as much as possible. So tip number 1, plan ahead and buy water repellent and water resistant shoes. This can be easier said than done, of course. Most waterproof, weatherproof, or water resistant shoes are very casual. Like I mentioned, Sorel snow boots, LL Bean duck boots, those are all rubber and casual, and they're not meant to be worn with, a smart, sharp, casual outfit or like a formal outfit. And you already know how a nice pair of leather dress shoes fares in terrible weather. Not that great. About a month ago, my friends at Ace Marks reached out to me about their newest line of chukkas and Chelseas made from a water repellent suede. When I saw them, I was like, whoa, that is the perfect example of a good looking shoe that is also water resistant. I don't often see the pairing of those two things. They were gracious enough to sponsor this video when I told them I wanted to talk about this topic. And honestly, I think their new line of water repellent suede boots are the perfect example of planning ahead and buying something that not only is investment worthy and looks great, but serves a purpose. It has the water repellent qualities that you're looking for in a shoe that won't get ruined in the rain or the snow. So you can wear these bad boys on your way to work in the rain, the slush, the sleet, the snow, and the suede will hold up because it is water repellent. Oh, speaking of walking around in sleet and snow and rain, when you're on those slippery sidewalks, these shoes actually have a rubber outsole, which I don't know if you can tell, but they look very similar to your typical Italian dress shoe with a leather sole. So you can't tell the difference, but the nice thing about it is that because it is a rubber sole, it has that nice traction and grip, so you're not gonna slip around, but at the same time, it looks great. They modeled these soles after their leather soles, so they look very similar. Another thing, these soles are also Blake stitched, so like I said, it kind of contributes to the sexiness, the sleekness of the look. At the same time, you can get these replaced if you have to, like down the road. So definitely check out the new water-resistant suede Chelseas and chukkas from Ace Marks. I'm gonna link to all of them in the description box below. You can read more about them. They are the perfect example of shoes that not only look great, but are perfect for a rainy or a snowy day. Thank you to Ace Marks for sponsoring this video. And of course, thanks to you for supporting the brands that make these videos possible. Tip number 2, a good shoe shine not only keeps your shoes looking good, but also helps protect the leather as well. Now, you're not gonna be protected in a downpour or a snowstorm, but having a nice layer or two of conditioner and cream and wax polish is gonna help protect the leather from any water damage. So without getting too deep in how exactly to polish your shoes, since that could be a whole different video, let me just give you a few pointers. 1, you want to use a good leather conditioner regularly. You want to think of it like applying hand cream to your hands on a cold and dry day. After you apply that moisturizer, your hands are going to feel a lot better. They're going to feel more supple, they're going to feel softer, and they're going to feel more moisturized. Leather needs that same kind of moisture because after all, it is skin, so you want to condition your shoes regularly. By the way, I'm gonna link to some of my favorite leather conditioning products in the description box below, so go ahead and scroll down and check that out. Okay, so after you condition your shoes, number 2, you are ready for a shine. If you ever tried to buy tins of shoe polish before, you've probably come across 2 different kinds, either cream or wax polish. Again, there are plenty of methods to shining your shoes exactly how you should do it, But my general advice is to go for a cream polish all over and then finish with a layer or two of wax polish. I'm not a pro on shining shoes, to be honest, so I'm gonna link to a few of my favorite channels and videos all about the shoe shining process in the card. So go ahead and click that and watch some of those videos after you finish this one. So that's the general idea when it comes to smooth leather shoes. You wanna condition it and then you wanna polish it. But if you have suede shoes, what do? So if you're dealing with suede and not smooth leather, you can skip all the creams and the polishes and the conditioners and stuff. All you have to do is get a stiff bristled brush and make sure you brush that bad boy really well. That's gonna help even out the nap, make it all one direction, and also it's gonna get all the dirt off of there. From there, just hit it with a suede protector. That spray is gonna help keep the water droplets off your shoes, and it's not gonna have the water be settling in, which kind of leaves stains and things on your suede. So suede protecting spray is always a good idea. But of course, if you go with the water repellent suede chukkas, or Chelsea's from Ace Marks, so you don't have to worry about that at all because the suede is already water repellent and it's built right in. Boom. So that is my general advice for how to protect your shoes through a good conditioning and polishing routine, or in suede's case, a good suede protectant spray. I'm gonna link to all these products like I mentioned in the description box below, so go ahead and check that out. Tip number 3, use swims. I guess the jury's out on whether or not these swims are like cool or dorky. I think they're pretty cool. Swims overshoes or galoshes are essentially these little slip-ons that you put over your shoe before you head out the door. They cover the sole of the shoe and a majority of the shoe overall. So if you ever get caught in an unexpected rainstorm, or if you're just commuting from home to work, they're really easy to slip on. You slip them on before you leave, you go on your merry way, you get to work or wherever you're going, and then you can slip them right off and keep them under your desk. And they're very non-intrusive, and it's very easy to use. I think it's a great solution. So you can check them out and decide for yourself. I'm gonna link to a few of the Swims products below. Take a look and maybe that's a good option for you as well. Okay, tip number 4, this is how you deal with salt stains. So if you've established a good polishing routine, like I mentioned a few tips before this, that is definitely half the battle. But at some point you are going to run into salt stains on your leather shoes. So the most common solution is to get a bowl and mix equal parts white vinegar and water. And from there, take a clean cloth, dip it into the new solution, of course, after you stirred it around a little bit, and then take that cloth and basically dab and rub the salt stain on your leather shoes, just kind of rub that area. And eventually you're gonna break up the salt stain that you see. So eventually it's gonna start fading away. It's a buildup kind of thing. So you have to keep rubbing and dabbing until you see that the salt stains are starting to fade. Then you just let your shoes dry naturally. Remember, the keyword is natural. Do not dry it with a hair dryer or don't put it next to a heater. At this point, your shoes are already really vulnerable and dry, and you don't want to dry it out even more. So you just want to let it sit there, ideally with shoe trees, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. And you want to have your shoes dry naturally. Then from there, when your shoes are all dried up, you want to rewind this video a little bit, go back to tip number 2, and make sure that you kind of go through your conditioning and your polishing so you can bring your shoes back to life. There are also specific products that you can buy to help with salt stains. I'm going to link to those products in the description box below, and you can check them out and see if that's something that you want to try out. Tip number 5, shoe trees, baby. You gotta use shoe trees. This is the easiest hack to keep your expensive leather or suede shoes looking good for a very long time. When you wear your leather shoes all day or your suede shoes, there's gonna be a lot of moisture buildup. And the cedar shoe tree helps to basically suck up all that moisture so it's not just like sitting in your shoe and ruining it. The shoe tree also helps your shoe sort of rest in its intended shape, which is essentially the shape that you bought it in. It's gonna help it maintain that shape, because if you look at a shoe tree, it's like the perfect shape of your shoe, and that's gonna help the leather kind of relax back into that state after a long day of wear. The key is to definitely buy a pair of cedar shoe trees. You want them to be cedar and not like plastic or metal. I've seen plastic and metal ones. They help with the shoe's shape, but they don't absorb moisture, which is key. You need to get moisture out of the leather. So definitely go with cedar shoe trees and not the plastic or metal kind. By the way, you only need one pair of cedar shoe trees. The trick is to always keep them in your most recently used pair. So the minute you get home, take them out of the pair that they're currently sitting in, take your shoes off that you've been wearing all day, stick the cedar shoe trees into the pair that you were just wearing, and boom, that's it, you're done. So really, you only need one pair of cedar shoe trees to go through your whole collection. So keep that in mind. One pair of shoe trees out from yesterday's pair of shoes and into today's pair. Simple. All right, fellas, I hope these tips help you avoid the wet, and overall, as much as possible, you just wanna keep your nice leather and suede shoes away from any excessive moisture. So if you know it's gonna be snowy, slushy, rainy outside, and you don't have a pair of the Ace Marks that I told you about earlier, you're gonna wanna wear your casual, but really protective rain boots or snow boots or whatever you have, and then take your shoes to work with you or wherever you're headed and just change there. If you can't do that, swims is a good option. I think the best option overall is honestly to plan ahead and have a few pairs of shoes that are built to resist water and snow and all that stuff, that also look good. And that's why I think Ace Marks shoes, this new line of water repellent suede Chukkas and Chelseas, are a good option for that. So everything that I mentioned is gonna be linked in the description box below, from the shoes to all the creams and polishes and protectors and stuff that I talked about here. So scroll down to the description, check out those links. Before you go, let me know, what tip are you going to implement this week? I want to know, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give me that thumbs up, and if you loved it, please, I hope you subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then,